Hurricane Helen is fully en route, but if you guys want a bunch of free industry knowledge, I highly recommend starting a YouTube channel, because in my last one, I posed the question, what gear do you use when you are trying to be a one-man band who is traveling via airline? Because the stuff I have is too big for the luggage I have. I got a ton of different recommendations, people saying, this is the kit I use, it works great. This is a completely different kit that I use and it works great. So my existing kit is gonna be a 300C, a 200X, and a 60D. I can't bring these stands. They're great, they're just way too big. So I don't want to also bring these stands because they're plastic and brittle, and if they get slightly off balance, they're going to fall. So I talked to David Winters, the cranky cameraman. He gave me some good advice on what he uses, and I think I might go that route. I've also heard other Lowell stands. I've also heard of the Matthews reversible stands and a couple of others, but I need everything to fit inside the luggage that I will be choosing, which seems to be the popular choice of a Pelican 1615 that has 29 inches of room inside. So that means these little plastic stands, they can fit. Don't really want to use them, but I just need to make sure that it can hold this 200X or 300C. So this is my favorite softbox, because it just has a one-click operation. It opens, it's got a skirt, it's very versatile. It's just 3 inches too big for a Pelican 1615. So instead of that, we're gonna get just a smaller one. It's probably gonna have those spokes. I hate those, but just gotta get a little bit smaller. And then for lighting, we're gonna switch it up. So this will be my key. Let me set it up how it would be. So this would be my key. And then for hair light, normally I hang this 60D on a boom stand over here, up, over, and it can become pretty weighty. So instead of that, like I said, so many suggestions in the comments, we're gonna go with an Aperture MC. And I really, really like it and don't like it. The reason I like it is because it'll pair with all these other lights on the Sidus Link app. That's great. It will be much lighter than a 60D. What I don't like is it doesn't have removable batteries. It's only the internal one. So if the battery is to be exhausted during the shoot, I think my idea is just to run a really long USB-C cable down the boom to a V-mount. So imagine this is the key. We have one of those Lowell stands with a little grip head and an arm to boom the MC, so you're not key, hair light, and I either need to bounce back into me or have a neg. So we're just gonna use the 5-in-1 reflector, and that's the gist of a lot of my setups. Key, hair, and then bounce or neg. Now, the other situation I wanna plan for is if we're having some really bright toppy light right here and it's getting right on the forehead, I want to have maybe some of these lightweight stands and some of these clamps, and then clamp a 5-in-1 over top to cut the light that is coming down. And that's it. That's really as far as I want to go, because this tripod will fit in a 1615 when you take the head off. Smaller softbox, maybe 2 5-in-1s, and then a couple of the Lowell stands. I'm gonna order this stuff pretty soon. So if you have any recommendations based on that, where I should go, where I should pivot, tell me now, because I'm gonna buy them soon. My buddy opened up a new studio. Time to check it out. That looks so good. So you get the RGBs up top. I don't know what it is, but I get giddy and excited when I have a friend tell me, hey, I'm doing something new. I'm starting a new adventure. I love to see that happening, especially when people are aiming towards their goals. So this new studio by Emmanuel and Val looks like an awesome place that I could use right here in downtown, that I could bring clients to, and I trust the owners. and they are kind of soft launching. But as we got to talking, we said, I'm getting a lot of people asking for another filmmaker meetup. Why don't we just do the meetup here? So this week, October 3rd, 7 o'clock, we're going to have the meetup. It's been a long time coming because I've been traveling so much, but the RSVP link is below. Anybody is welcome to join, but there is limited seating, and I know a lot of AOD members who just joined are going to be interested as well, so make sure you sign up and grab your spot. I love seeing friends in motion. In a very rare occurrence, I am going to edit. I talked about this pivot a few videos ago. I'm going to have some long-form conversations with actual working DPs, working gaffers, people in the industry, and I need to chop up the first episode. My idea is that this YouTube channel has let me meet so many incredible people who are crushing their own business that I want to share those in the weeds conversations that I get to have with them to others. So here is a quick 30-second preview because episode 1 is already out.
That single retainer usually doesn't pay enough to justify paying somebody else to go cover for you while you go do this thing, So it's like...
Yeah, dude, I've lost out on so many projects because of that retainer, but I'm charging as a production company for that client. Yeah. I don't charge as a production company for most of my other jobs. I charge as a
So feel free to check out that episode, put it on while you're on a long drive. That's how I view most of my YouTube stuff. And I'm going to keep trying to have conversations with these people that I've met on YouTube. But right now, having a little bit of a meetup with my buddy who is in town from New York, Joseph Mikos. Well, actually, he's flying around. He just did a whole Euro trip. He films a lot of concert festivals, brand integrations, and he's kind of localizing onto the spirits and alcohol companies that have activations whenever they do festivals. Pretty interesting stuff, but that hurricane is coming.
This is crazy.
Hurricane prep complete. Everything is brought inside this tiny 1-1. But we got to continue working. Recently on this channel, I talked about pivoting, and I have a couple new angles that I'm attacking. The first one is clearly marketing myself towards documentary DP roles. What's my first step to doing that? Is put out a reel, which I just did. And if you don't have one, I highly recommend it because one, it's very reflective. You get to see what did I work on this year? How is my style being cultivated? And then you get to push out. You get to tell everyone, this is the type of work you're gonna get from me. This is the type of specialization. And you get to throw out all those other projects that you did last year and say, when you think of this type of work, you think of me. And that's extremely powerful for your marketing. Next pivot was I wanted to start these long form conversations. You already saw it. It's out, it's live, and that's going to keep going. It's not going to take over the channel, but I think it's going to be great to have those really value-packed conversations. And then the last pivot was I want to start a national filmmaker meetup tour. I talked about how it started gaining momentum in the last one, but I'm going to find a title sponsor, and right now I think it's going to be The Art of Documentary, and I'm going to send them a pitch that I'm making, and I suck at making pitches because I've never done them before. It looks like a third grader who's doing PowerPoint slideshows. I'm getting a little bit of help from friends, but basically the goal of this pitch is to show AOD I've already done the legwork. Look at all these photos from events in Orlando, Atlanta, Dallas, San Francisco. Look at how many people consistently come out, 20 to 40 filmmakers. And I want to expand it, but I need financial help. I need help with flights and hotels and venue rentals, catering, all this stuff that I would like to position The Art of Documentary up at top for helping me do that. And the benefit for them, which is I'm realizing this is what the pitch is. You're telling them what the benefit for you is. The benefit for them is I get to take AOD from being a digital membership and community, and I get to make it tangible. I will activate their community in all corners of the US. I'm already having some ideas of San Diego, Seattle, New York, Chicago. I'd love to hit all those places. And I can bring their members together. I can bring all the other people who are who know of me or see it on Eventbrite, and they can just get stronger and stronger by just having one person bring the community together, and now with the assistance of a title company or title sponsor. So, you know, I got my Orlando filmmaker meetup happening next week. Jared from Dallas, he's starting I think this will be his second or third one that he's doing. Tommy Beal just announced on his that he is taking the next step for his San Francisco filmmaker meetup.
We limited that event to 30 people, but now I think it's time to do another one. So on October 10th from 7 to 9 p.m., I am hosting a filmmakers meetup in the middle of San Francisco at a cool bar.
So that's kind of how it goes, is I go into an area, someone that I know, like Jared in Dallas or Tommy in San Francisco, and I host a meetup with them. And then when I leave, you guys get the community, and it's your responsibility to keep the meetups going. And it just feels so good whenever I jump into these Instagram chats that are produced every time I hold a meetup. So San Francisco has one, Dallas has one, Atlanta, Orlando, and I see people trading jobs. I see people hiring each other, answering questions, helping each other out. It's such a good resource. And the fact that I can do that on my own blows me away. But I'm really starting to think, well, what if I get some corporate money behind this? Like, how big could this be? So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build this this pitch out and see if I can get AOD's attention. And hopefully there's like a whole schedule and calendar for next year of where all these meetups are going to be. Fingers crossed.